All right, once again, welcome back. This is Put It On Record, the podcast about DJing, hosted by DJs. My name is DJ BERN. Big shout out to Ricio and Don't Fret out there in the world. And shout out to you for listening. If this is your first time listening, please leave us a like, leave us a rating, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. We appreciate you. This podcast, as always, is really just an opportunity for DJs to talk to each other about shared experiences that only we can understand, and for non-DJs to listen and, get some insight on what we go through on a daily basis. And so today's guest, somebody I'm very excited to talk to and to learn more about, somebody I met recently, a newer DJ, but a battle champion, which is something I can't say. So kudos to you. And also, we'll talk about how this is also my cousin in real life. So big shout out to Mad.White. Welcome.
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm so tired from the weekend, and somebody actually texted me earlier today and was like, you didn't tell me how tired you'll be once you do multiple DJ gigs, because I'm exhausted. And I told him, I'm like, I had 5 gigs this weekend. I'm probably not going to be
Oh,
well rested until Wednesday, and then we got to do it all over again. So I'm
hmm
tired, but the work never stops. How are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, it was a long weekend too. Just going out Friday and then Sunday. But yep, that's it though.
So let's get right into it. I always start these interviews with the same 2 questions. This first question might not be too extravagant from you, obviously, but where did you get your DJ name from, and was this always your original DJ name?
Okay, so honestly, I mean, okay, so my phone name is Maddie White. So a lot of people do call me Mad White, and then just like, uh, yeah, so just Mad White. So, and that's also my Instagram name too. So I just like I'm not super creative, so I was like, you know what? I just need a quick DJ name for this DJ competition. And so I just stuck with Mad White, but a lot of people think it's cool. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll stick with it for a while once I think of something else better, but that's where it came from.
So the good news is, and we'll talk about this later, you have your first DJ gig coming up. The bad
Yes.
news is, as soon as that happens, it's going to be hard to change your name. So,
Right, right,
um,
right.
but like I tell newer DJs that you don't have to be DJ such and whatever. Like, you don't have to put DJ in front of your name. You can be whatever you want. And as far as DJ names go, as long as you're good, people will call you whatever you call yourself. Like, if
hmm
you're shit from a butt, like, like, that's your name. So whatever. Um, Also, Marlon, because he's terrible with names, asked me, "Is that Off White?" I was like, "1, that's not her name, but 2, that's actually a dope name."
Off White, you know what?
No, yeah, I mean that might be, I don't know, but yeah, I like that the name is something that's natural to you, and it was already your Instagram handle, so it's not like you going by something that you had to make up. It's like it was already
Right.
in the bag. So, um, second question. Let me turn the fan back up because it's hot. Second question is, I guess this doesn't really apply to you, but I normally ask people what was their worst gig.
Um, honestly, I don't know. Okay, I can't say it was my worst gig. I mean, so I've only threw like 3 like events like with me and my girl Ashley. And then we also had another dude. His name was Daryl. We were throwing it with him. So we threw 3 events, or 2 of them was called Better Days, and then this third one, it was just me and Ashley. We called it Golden Hours. But not that it was bad, but it's just like we didn't think about the OSU football game. We didn't think about the fight going on. So we literally had it like from like 8 to like 11, and it was just like people were like, oh man, like I'd come, but like the fighting game was on, so like it wasn't like the best turnout, but honestly like still got content, still got a little bit of exposure, so I don't know, I think that's valuable as well. But yeah, not a huge turnout compared to like the other 2, so I was like, damn, like that kind of sucks, but it was still fun, still vibe, everybody was dancing, so it was cool.
So I thought that you never DJ before the battle, but if you've thrown events before, you have. Like, how many events have you publicly DJ'd at?
I guess, I mean, three. I mean, like there was about like I would say like the first two, there's probably like 15 to 20 people. So it was like a small little party. The last one, it was only like maybe 8 people. So it was like smaller, like parties, I guess. But but I guess if you want, yeah, if you want to call them gigs, yeah, I guess I've done those.
So, I mean, if you were DJing, well, I guess if you're throwing the party and it's people you know, then that's different than going out in front of a crowd that's unfamiliar with you and performing in front of them. So, I guess that would make it different. But I was talking to New, shout out to New. I was trying to ask her, when was your first DJ gig? And she couldn't really nail it down. And I was like, when's the first time you played for people you didn't know? So, whatever that date is, keep that in your mind because mine was September 9th, 2007. So I like to celebrate that as the anniversary. So whatever day that is for you, write that down somewhere because it's going to mean something in 5, 10, 20 years maybe. And, maybe that's this Saturday. So, but we'll talk about that in a second. So let's talk non-DJ stuff first.
Okay.
Where are you originally from?
So I'm from Sydney, Ohio, which is like an hour and a half away. It's like 40 minutes from the Dayton. So I always be like, all right, I'm from Dayton, like Dayton area. Because nobody ever knows where Sydney, Ohio is, but that's where I'm originally from. And then I moved to Columbus about like 4 to 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What brought you to Columbus?
It was mainly school, and I just like wanted something different. I've literally only lived in Sydney, Ohio, so it's like a small town. It's all I knew. I literally was like, growing up, I was like, man, Columbus is like my dream town. And now that I've seen like the rest of the world, I'm like, dang, like Columbus, yeah, Columbus is cool. I enjoy Columbus a lot. Met a lot of cool people and experienced a lot of cool things. So
Did you go to OSU?
I did for a little bit. I took a couple classes, but yeah, just kind of back and forth with Columbus State and OSU. But yeah. So I've been like back and forth. I originally started with physical therapy assisting and then I went to like nursing. I got in the program. I was like, you know what? Let me move to Columbus, took a couple years off, and I was like, let me try to see what I actually want to do. Went into like computer engineering. I was like, yeah, it's not for me. And then now I'm like back into nursing. So that's like my route I want to take.
Nice, nice. I when I was in high school, I got forced to computer engineering as well because, as you can probably guess, they're like, "Hey, you're good at math. Why don't you do engineering?" I'm like, slightly more difficult than just being good at math.
Right,
Um,
right.
but I didn't get my associate's degree until like actually I was like 30. I was in my mid 30s, and I eventually went back to Columbus State and got a associate's degree in digital design and graphics, and
Mhm.
that's it. I've been using that for DJing. So as with all people, like education is not really a linear thing. It's like you find what you want to do and you complete that task, and it doesn't have to all be done before you're 22. Like there's no set schedule for somebody's education path. So taking a couple years off, all that. That's I feel like that's the norm these days, especially with people getting into more creative fields. But
True.
so you're currently in school.
So I plan to go back in the spring. Yeah. Yep.
Um, Speaking of being good at math, so you're my cousin because tell everybody what your ethnic background is.
So I am half Korean, half white. Yep. So that's why we're cousins.
Yep. And as I told you before, I saw your name on some flyer, and I wish I knew what flyer it was because I was surprised to hear you never did it before. Because I thought that was I thought wasn't it an event at Goody Boy?
No, it's at Good Life Studios. So it's like a
Oh,
little like
okay,
photography. Yeah. Yeah.
that's what it was.
So we just threw it there.
I actually had
Yeah.
a photo shoot and a video shoot there before, so I'm familiar with that. It's a nice
Oh,
place.
okay. Yeah.
So when I saw your name on a flyer, I was like, if this is a white girl, that's actually that's a funny name, like Mad.White, because you're extra white, but you're also an angry white. That'd be hilarious. And then so when I saw you at the battle, I was like, Wait a
Question
minute,
mark.
she looks Asian. And so I was talking to Sonic. I'm like, no, I was talking to my wife, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
you think she's Asian, or you think she's Asian, like like white and Asian? And then so when I was talking to you, I'm like, oh, you're Korean. Oh, okay. And well, here we go, and here we are. So we're locked in now. So if
Hmm.
anybody was asking, yes, the battle was rigged because I voted for the Korean woman. What you gonna do about it? No, I'm just
Right.
kidding. No, okay,
Honest.
but go ahead. I'm saying.
Oh, honestly, it's funny because like a lot of people like they'll hear my name and they'll approach me, but they'll be like, Mad.White, like you're not white. I'm just like, you know what, guys, this is my name. Like, but the off-white, that he's on to something.
Think about it. I mean, you still got time. I feel like it's harder once you get further along to
Yeah.
change your name. But like I said, whatever you're comfortable with is what you should go with. So
Hmm.
if Mad White works for you, then you'll be good to go. And also,
Hmm.
I don't think there's anybody else out there that's probably Mad White. It's probably someone else out there that's off white. It's probably some dirty DJ that is into fashion or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but let's talk about the battle. Well, no, before we get there, um, how did you start DJing?
Okay. So there's this guy uh, I knew. Um, I was hanging out with him. I seen a little controller on his little shelf. I was like, hey, like, because I've always been intrigued with DJing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm like, hey, like, can I try this out? Literally just like started it all up for me. I started messing around with it. He was like, you're kind of picking this up quick. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a controller. But yeah, that's how it all started. Kind of messed around with it. And then yeah, it's history after that. That was this year. Yeah, that was like earlier this year. So I picked it up like, okay, I bought my controller, I think in like February. I wasn't like consistent. So picked it up and then, okay, so that's actually the guy that was on the events, like with us. So it was like May time, April, May. Um, he was like, you know what, like we should just put ourselves out there and like, throw an event and DJ. Just yeah, for 2025. That's our goal. So we did that. And then Ashley, I also knew her, and she also mentioned that she wanted to get into DJing. So she picked it up as well. She picked it up way later. So respect to her for she picked it up in like 1 month and then like did that event with us. So but May was like when I was like consistent. I was like, you know what? I cannot make a fool of myself like for this like party in June. So we're gonna lock in. And yeah, so ever since then. So I would say like May time, that was when I've been like the most consistent until now. Yeah.
What
So
what well, first time out. Let's talk about your friend there in the back. What kind of dog is that?
oh, Aiko. He's a little pit mix. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a pit. Her name is Cinnamon. She's an old lady. She's like 12.
Aw.
But she's like she's brown, but now that she's getting old, she's like white around the face. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's dumb. She just sleeps all day and eats, and she's like, "Hey, scratch me," and then she goes away. And that's it. So
That's literally Aiko as well. Don't pay no rent, don't do nothing. Just sleep and eat.
always tired somehow. I don't know what to do all
Right.
day to be tired. But um, so with you just starting, uh, what was practice like for you?
Practice. I literally was just messing around with the buttons. Also the guy, he also was like teaching me a little bit. So I literally was just like watching everything he was doing and just kind of using that and then just building off of that, like on like by myself. So that's how I was learning.
You said this guy's name is Daryl.
Yeah. I
What's his DJ name?
think it's D D Gamble. D I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but he's from the Dayton area.
Was how experienced was he?
I think he picked it up. I think he became more consistent, like when I picked up as well. But I think he started maybe like a year before that. So yeah,
So remind me what Ashley's DJ name is.
DJ Dolly.
Shout out to DJ Dolly. That's what I thought it was. I didn't want to get it wrong.
Hmm.
So he threw an event in June,
Yes.
and what if you had to give me an elevator pitch on this event because you wanted me to come to it? What would you say about the event?
Just we want people to dance. Like we're bringing the vibes. Um, but yeah, our vibes were definitely like R&B, hip hop, throwback. She was more so like Afro beats, a little bit of hip hop. So just more like bouncy music, more sing along music. But yeah, we just wanted people to vibe, people to dance, people to like mingle. Like that's all we wanted. So
Nice. And the controller that you purchased was which one?
it was a DDJ FLX4.
Why that one?
Um, I feel like that was a pretty beginner friendly controller. Also, the one that I like tried the first time, like he also had that one. But that was the reason why I picked that one. And I just like got the hang of it all. So I was like, all right, I'll just pick this one up.
Nice. Yeah. A6 Cam started with that one as well.
Oh, really?
I think he had the white one, and now he has the Red 5. But he was asking me about the controller he used, and I told him, he was like, okay, well, yeah, all right. Just because like I was telling him like as far as you using the 1000 SRT is like how similar it was because you use the FLX4. He was saying the same thing. Like, yes, it's pretty much the same thing. So
That looked like the FLX10, which I've also played on too. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely familiar, or it looks very familiar.
So yeah, now that we're not yelling over the music, what I was trying to tell you is that the FLX10 has dedicated stem buttons. It has acapella, instrumental, and something else. Whereas on other controllers, you can just replace the pads with the stem buttons. But FLX10 has them specifically for stems. So
Okay, okay, cool.
let's talk about the battle. So battle was at Noir. It's an all
Hmm.
female DJ battle of the blends, hosted by Secret Sauce Sensi. Big shout out to Queen Celine. She's amazing.
The
Um,
cleaning.
I love, as a side note, I love meeting other DJs that I feel like are like minded, and she's very community oriented, and she likes to put on events as well as DJ herself, and I like that. I like people that put their own money up, put their own brands up, and just to create different experiences for people. And DJ
Hmm.
battles, they happen, but not really like that. So to be able to, and it started in Cincy, and so she brought it here to Columbus, which is a big step, especially for any event, but for a battle specifically because people don't typically go out for that. But it was a great
Hmm.
crowd. Shout out to all the contestants. How did you find out about the battle?
I actually seen it on Instagram. Honestly, like I didn't see the deadline. Like I didn't read the rest of the like caption. I was like, shoot, because I was like back and forth. I was like, I was so nervous and scared. I was like, should I put myself out there? Like I probably should. And then like by the time like I already was like, you know what, let's just do it. It was like a week after the deadline. I was like, crap. Like, so I texted Ashley. I was like, dang, Ashley, or she actually applied late too, but she got in. I was like, okay, well that gives me a little bit of hope. So I was like, okay, let me just sign up, see what happens. I did not get any like response for like a week. I was like, damn, like I didn't get in. Like I should have just booked it when I seen it instead of being scared. But then they let me in. So I was like, oh shoot, okay. So we're doing it. We're doing it. I'm excited. But yeah, that's how I seen it on Instagram.
That's good because I remember when DJ Dolly hit us up, or I think she commented on my post. She was like, "How do I sign up?" And so I sent it to Celine. I was like, "This person wants to sign up. What's up?" And it was kind of late in the process. So the fact that you got in
Hmm.
after that, that's crazy because
Yeah.
you end up winning. So look at
I
that.
know. Crazy.
What was your expectations going into the battle? Like, what was your mindset when you put together your set?
Man. Um, I don't I really just honestly going into it, I was like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I'm gonna just go in here, get exposure, get a little bit of content, put myself out there, just be uncomfortable, stop being so comfortable. Um, I don't know. So that was just like my main thing. I wasn't expecting to win. I was like, well, dang, okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe my playlist was good. Maybe my transitions were good. I don't know if you remember the Be Your Girl transition into Break from Toronto. I literally woke up. I was like, crap, like my playlist is not, it's not like, it's like decent, but it's not like, oh, you're gonna win this competition. But I literally woke up. I like woke up like at like 9. I was like, I need to like lock in, get this playlist right. And I was just like playing with like my playlist or like seeing what other songs would like work. And then when I heard like that, I was like, wait. And then like I think like either like the next song or the song after that, like on my playlist was like Break from Toronto. And then I played it. I was like, wait, wait. So I tried to like mess around with it and I was like, wait, this kind of sounds like ass. Like this is not gonna go. So I kept playing around with it. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, it seemed like people liked the transition. I was like, okay, cool. Because I really thought it was like, ugh. But I don't know. That was my thought process. What do you
So
think?
here's what I can tell you. I can say this now that the battle is over. So we had guidelines. I wish I still had the sheet. I think I do in my car. It was like different things you're judging based on like
Mm-hmm.
creativity, um, different genres, being able to blend them all together. There's a bunch of things, and so it was. So honestly, before New went, it was a two-way tie between you and DJ Toy Story, and
Mm-hmm.
so me, Sonic Blush, and DJ K like we were like, because Celine said this before we even started. She was like, if y'all want to have like a face off, you can do that at the end too. So I was like, you know what? I can't really call it. So we should have them do a face off. And so, but then two things happened. One, we were saying like a lot of these DJs prepared for a 7 minute set. And so
Mm-hmm.
asking them to come up with something else on the fly wouldn't be fair. To which I said like, well, that's what you got to do as a DJ. Like,
Right.
I'm not prepared to DJ right now, but if they're like, hey, Bernie, you want to spin? I got a crazy 7 minutes and I'm gonna go crazy. So, cause that's what you
Mm-hmm.
always got to be ready. So, but then also we were judging strictly on what we thought on a 1 to 10 scale. And we would get together and compare notes. But then it was also a crowd vote and you won the crowd vote by a wide margin. So we're like, as a DJ, yes, we can be critical of each other, but also the crowd matters as well. Cause it's not just about
Mm-hmm.
what we think. If the crowd enjoyed it, we can't go against it. So it was like, all right, she won. And for me, I can say this too is that I think you and DJ Toy Story had similarly executed sets as far as the level of talent and how entertaining they were. And also, while we were debating it, New went last. And so we
Mm-hmm.
stopped right in the middle of us debating, like, hold on, it might not be no two-way tie. So,
Right.
but yeah, she did a great job, firmly there in third place, and by a wide margin over the other ones, in my opinion. But for me, it was the Be Your Girl break. I was actually about to ask you that because I didn't remember what song you went to break from Toronto, but the fact that you tried to do some wordplay, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, is what makes sets stand out, especially when you go into a battle. Like having clean transitions and good song choices is cool, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what are people going to remember? Like, damn, that was crazy when like that, as opposed to just because there are other DJs up there playing great songs and they're great vibe, but they weren't impactful, they weren't memorable. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I don't like. I wouldn't go for you and Toy Story. I said out of my mouth like, they can DJ for an hour, and I'm like, cool, just keep going because they obviously know what they're doing. They're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and both of y'all, I would pay y'all right now to come DJ at some event I'm throwing. Like, that's how confident I am. Other people, not so much. It's like, all right, I can tell you can DJ, but what exactly? Like, where are you going? Like, if I gave you more than 7 minutes, what exactly would you do? And that's
Yeah.
why you were a clear cut winner. And so you won, and you won that battle. What how'd you feel listening to the rest of the DJs? Like, were you confident in what you were doing, or is it like I can't call it, or what?
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be like really close, like obviously Toy Story, and then I heard New Girl. I was like, dang, like she was really good too. I think it was, I don't know if it was DJ Aloha or Ambient. I think they were playing just like more house music. I feel like they were pretty good. I just feel like the crowd, it just wasn't like the right crowd, maybe. So they were really good. I mean, they were all really good, of course, but I
And that's
think,
something you
yeah.
got to consider, like the crowd you're in front of. And so,
Hmm.
like, going first would probably be the worst because you don't know what
Yeah.
they want. But if you're going last, and I think it was ambient, like Sonic actually made a note that I think that was the DJ that was, I think, playing one constant song on the right deck
Oh,
and
yeah.
like loading stuff in on the left and like low key programming and producing. And I'm like, oh, you get extra points for this because like what? Like that's crazy.
Right.
But but to the point, like if the crowd's not enjoying it, like that's going to be a strike because both things are
Yeah.
important: your skill and the crowd enjoying it. So, um, I'll also say that when you walked in and I saw you, I was like, you had this like, as we have that stoic Asian face, like. So I was like, damn, she looks serious. But now I talk to you more, I was like, oh, you're super friendly. That's cool. Like, and I hate saying that because I think a lot of women get a lot of bad rap for looking mean. So I'm definitely not trying to say that, but it's just that you look like you were a grizzled vet and you're like, oh, why am I even in here wasting my time with these peasants? I'm going to come in here and clean up. But then
Oh
like
no.
now that I talk more about you or talk more to you, like it's much more like, hey, I'm just happy to be here. It's cool. Like, which is a good attitude to have. Like there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. Um,
Yeah, I
can
was really
you,
nervous.
yeah, I mean, I
Shaking in my
always
boots.
say if you're not nervous, that means you don't care. And I'd
Hmm.
rather have a DJ be nervous and anxious to do a good job than somebody that's just like, oh, I'm just in here, whatever. I'm getting paid, whatever. Like that. Like that's not cool. Um, are there any DJs here locally, locally specific, and then on a national sense that you enjoy, that you admire, or that you would say like that's the kind of DJ I want to be? Let's start locally.
Okay. So whenever I would like go out, like last year, I was like, man, like I'm looking for like I was specifically searching out for like DJs. I'm like, I want to find a good DJ so I can follow them and like I want to go out and sing and dance. I don't think it was before New Year's. I seen KMB at Oddfellows or not Oddfellows, Bodega. I was with my friend and this is like before I started DJing, but I was like, or this is before I got my controller. Like, but I like started DJing. She's like, just like go talk to him, like, whatever, like introduce yourself. So first of all, I was like scared to do that. I was like, I don't know, like I'm scared. But then like 30 minutes after that, I started chatting with him. And then I was like, hey, like I love your stuff. Like you were really good and like we should connect. So I feel like his sound, I really love his sound specifically. Um, but yeah, that was like the first DJ. I was like, man, like I need this vibe more. But yeah, so he's a little inspiration for sure.
KMB is always the right answer, first of all. Like,
Hmm.
and
Right.
and so every time people say KMB, which is expected, I always say the same thing. So I'll say it here too. KMB, I think people in Columbus don't appreciate KMB like they should because
Uh-uh.
is KMB is one of a couple people that I would pay any amount to go see DJ anywhere doing anything
Hmm.
because I know it's going to be a good time. It's funny because I helped somebody A&R their album and they had a show in January and KMB was one of the openers. And people were in there like, what's it? Who's this? Like people that I know, they're like, they weren't hip. I'm like, oh, I know what kind of music you like. Watch what he does. So as soon as he
Hmm.
started playing, I'm looking at them like, I told you, this man's crazy. And the fact that like he's a great DJ, he's a great producer, and like being able to play all his own stuff, and probably the most important thing is that he's a super nice guy.
No,
Like
he is, yeah.
like if he was an asshole, I would still give him his props as a great DJ. But
Hmm.
it gives me more pleasure talking about how great he is because he's a nice guy and because he deserves it. So
Hmm.
KMB once again, great answer. Are there any DJs nationally that you hear as you see on YouTube or listen to their sets on SoundCloud that you're like, oh, that's a dope DJ. I wish I could do stuff like that.
Honestly, like so like this is all like new to me still, but I mean, I went to go see Zach Fox like twice. He's super cool. He's a vibe for sure. Love his energy. So that's like one person. Um, I'm kind of getting more like researching more like bigger DJs, but like Joe K, like he's in the mix too. But yeah.
Yeah, those are all in a similar lane, so I can definitely see why you'd be interested in them. So
Hmm.
I guess if we can go back a little bit, you say you're knew somebody had a controller, and you're like, hey, I kind of want to do that.
Hmm.
What made you want to do that? Because I always say when I talk to people, the first, especially DJs, I'm like, first thing I need to know is like, why do you want to DJ? And they're saying, oh, I love music. I'm like, yeah, I love food, but I don't want to be a chef. So why do you want to be a
That is
DJ?
true.
So,
Man.
so what really attracted you to DJing?
Well, because obviously, like in my head, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm gonna throw events. Oh, I'm gonna become a DJ. Like that wasn't my main thing. I think it's just like for like like the songs that like kind of make you feel like you're in the clouds. I don't know. So I feel like doing like mashups kind of like make me feel that same way. I don't know. But also, okay, I was just like thinking about this. So I was in or I used to do marching band, but I used to play like the quads, so like the quints, the five drums or whatever. But like so DJing, I feel like I get that same feeling I got playing the drums. I'm like, ooh, like I really like this new hobby. And like I'm gonna stick with it. But yeah, I don't know. Just like the songs flowing together, just like being creative and like, you know, taking out like the vocals and mixing it with a different song. Like, I don't know. And it's just like when like the two songs actually flow well together, it's just like so satisfying. So like I don't know. I like crave that feeling. I don't know.
No, I mean, I definitely understand that. And, with you just starting this year, I think, because when I started DJing, long story less long because I've told this a thousand times. I was in my fourth college. I was running out of money to pay for school. I was running out of student loans. I was like, what can I do to pay for school? So I was like, I can just DJ because I like music. So I worked two full-time jobs during the summer, bought turntables, didn't go back to school for 10 years. And I like the fact that I could play music and help people get out of whatever thoughts they're in. So if you're having a bad day, music will fix that. If you want to celebrate
Mm-hmm.
something, I can do that as well. And if I'm being 100% honest, I think I told knew this yesterday, but I don't think I've ever said this out loud. So exclusive. I used to be very what's the word? Promiscuous. And I feel like DJing selfishly gave me that attention I was looking for. That
Mm-hmm.
attention and that admiration that I wasn't getting in my personal life, which is why I just try to get it from whoever. And I feel like DJing filled that void, and so I wanted more of that. But as I've been DJing 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, now I'm my 18th year. At some point, that changed to like I see what impact music has on people, and I like to be able to provide that. And even now, later in my career, I like meeting people like you that want to go on this journey, and maybe there's something that I could do to boost that up, whether it's just to plug you in somewhere or give you some advice or some information, and to be able to build a community that I didn't have. Because when I first started DJing in Columbus, there wasn't too many people that were helpful. Like if you didn't grow up with me or I don't know you as whatever, it's like I don't want to deal with you. And there's less of that now, and I want to selfishly take a lot of credit for that because I go out of my way to make sure that you guys have what you need resource wise, just because I didn't have it. So
Which
that's a
I
long
really
answer.
appreciate
No,
a
no, no.
lot. Yeah.
And I also want to say that it's not for any credit. It's literally because me having a conversation with you or whoever else needs it might be the difference between you being a superstar and you never DJing again. Because there's a lot of people I've heard ask other DJs like, "Oh, can you help me do so and so?" And they're like super rude about it. Like, "No, get the fuck away from me. Who are you?" And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you might have just crushed somebody's dream because now they think everybody's a dickhead and now they won't go
Yeah.
DJ. And like, instead of just saying like, even like, I can spot a mile away somebody that doesn't really want to DJ and they just want money or fame. And I'm like, well, I'll still give you the information because if you're not passionate about this, you're not gonna be DJing in 1 or 2 years anyway. And
Hmm.
all I wasted was 15 minutes of my time giving you the information that you need. But what if this is actually your passion and something you actually want to do forever, and the difference between you doing it or not is just me telling you something, then I'll give it up to you. Or maybe me giving you your first gig, and now you DJing every week. Like whatever I could do to facilitate somebody getting to their dreams, I'm all for it. So yeah, whatever you think about DJing now, I'm sure once you get into more gigs and you get more access and more exposure, and unfortunately, when you come across some of the negative things of DJing, like dealing with bad businessmen and all that, it might change your perspective. But it sounds like you like it and you love it and you enjoy the creative part about it, and that's a good foundation. So I think you're on the right
Hmm.
path.
Thank you.
As we were doing that, I actually just finally paid for Zoom, so now we don't have a 40-minute limit. So,
I
but there's
see that.
not too many more questions though. So this is also a question that the answer might change, but as of right now, if you can answer, what do you want out of DJing?
Um, I mean, to be honest, it all started with just like as like a hobby, and I just like really enjoyed like how like mixing made me feel and just like playing music. Like I literally wake up, just get on my phone, get on Spotify, play music. So just music is just always playing in my ear, like all day, whenever I can. But honestly, like now, I mean, I didn't think I was gonna be like would want gigs or like become like actual DJ. But I mean, I don't know. I just like love, especially after competition, especially after competition. Just seeing everybody dance, seeing everybody move, like cheering, like all that. I was like, man, like this is such a great feeling. Like, like having people move. Like honestly, like when I would go out, like I'm like, dang, like nobody in Columbus really dances. Like I've been to Detroit, I've been like to the bigger cities like LA, like Chicago. Everyone is moving or dancing, but in Columbus, I just feel like everyone's just like cross armed, like just standing there. I'm like, guys, like the whole purpose was to come out and dance. But yeah, so
Yeah, I will say outside of like hips and orange soda and what you need and essentials, like those parties were created to say, hey, come dance. Don't be on your phone. There's no sections and VIP and all that other nonsense. Like,
mhm.
come dance. Have you been to hips?
I have. I love hips because
Which
everybody's dancing.
which one did you go to, or which ones have you been to?
So I've been to the one with KB, which that was a little while ago. But that was my first one. I was like, dang, like I really like everyone's always talking about hips. I'm like, dang, like I really need to go. I love R&B, hip hop, whatever. So that was my first one. And then my second one, it was with I forgot his name, but it was recent. It was probably like last month actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was my second one that I went to. But it was winning.
So, I mean, that's cool. Like I said, hips is always a good time, and I can say this on this podcast because it's probably not going to come out till it's announced. But I'm doing the next one.
Yay.
It's October the 11th. I asked Paul specifically, like, hey, like my birthday's on the 17th, so it'd be a great way to start off the birthday week if you give me the allow me the pleasure of DJing hips. And so
Hmm.
I got some stuff in store. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
This your first time?
No, I've done it.
Oh,
I've done it several times.
okay.
Last time I did it was last April, and I'll send you the YouTube video
Okay.
of my set. But I really put a lot of time into, especially this is probably something you should know. So whenever you are like when me and Chase are at like Oddfellows, whatever, we're there for 4 or 5 hours. We're just
Hmm.
going off of each other and flowing throughout the night. And so then I don't really prepare my sets for stuff like that. But when it's like, oh, I'm doing hips or I'm doing a special event and I got 1 hour and I'm the feature, it's like, I put a lot of time and a thought onto what exactly that hour is going to sound like, to the point where like I'll have a crate of like 60 to 80 songs, and then I'll put them in the exact order I want to play them, and then have extra songs just in case the person before me plays the songs I was going to play, and just be prepared. Because I feel like DJing should be, in those scenarios, should be a performance. It's not like, you know, you're at a market or a hookah bar and you just vibes in the background. And that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with those gigs. But for hips, it's like people come to see you perform. So it should be a performance. You shouldn't be up there just like, oh, I'm going to just go with the flow. It's like, what am I going to do to make this memorable, song after song after song after transition? So the last one I did in April of last year, it was a lot of mashups I made specifically for that. A lot of sample flips. Beyonce Cowboy Carter album just came out, and so I did a mashup of Sweet Honey Buckin'. Is that what it's called? I did a mashup with that and Family Ties, and it had just came out. I was like, yeah, it like, I just want to be intentional and make sure that people like, make sure it's memorable and not just like, oh, it's good music. I don't know. Like, no, it's like, oh, he did this, this, and this. So, I'm saying all that because I feel like as you move into what you're doing, you should probably have the same mindset of like, you know, if you're out somewhere and it's a couple hours, you know, just go with the flow vibe and see where it takes you. But if you're like, hey, you're the feature, people are coming out to see specifically you should want to give them a show, and really like, your set at the battle was so well put together. And that's why I was like, I wonder how you did this, because I feel like it was so thoughtful, like from front to like the wordplay and all that. Like, and it was, I don't remember all the songs, but I do remember like it was a nice blend of genres, and it wasn't like, it was very cohesive, even though it was genres that was all over the place, and not in a bad way all over the place, but like it was just different genres, and then you put it all together and you packaged it well. So I don't think you definitely won't struggle with being creative. It's just I feel like as you move in the DJing, it's just really just being able to look at the crowd and see like, well, what do they want to hear, and how can I mix that with what I want to play. And it actually goes to my next question. Since you just started DJing, what did you think being in front of people was going to be like, and how did the battle and the other events that you did, how did that change your perception on DJing?
Well, the first event that we threw, I was shaking in my boots. Like, so I went on second, so that kind of like lightened up the nervousness just because I wasn't first. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think like once okay, obviously like practice. Practice just like makes you feel more comfortable, more confident. So, I mean, for like those events, I definitely had like a playlist like curated for him. So it was a little less nerve-wracking instead of like um just freestyling. Um, but yeah, I don't know, just seeing everybody move, seeing everybody vibe, just kind of makes me like come out of that like nervous shell and like I start dancing. I think that was my issue with like the first couple events. Like I was literally just like right here. I was like so scared. But then like yeah, I just need to like move more. Yeah. I don't know.
I did, and that's another thing. There were some other contestants that weren't moving at all. They were like deer in headlights, and I'm like, if you're not enjoying it, they're not going to enjoy it. But you actually, like, I could tell you was like, yeah, like you was actually enjoying what you were playing, and that helped with the crowd enjoyment as well. And you know, and there's also extreme examples of that, like people like DJ David and Uncle Waffles, like who they perform while they're DJing. It's like a whole dance routine, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but like if you don't, I always say like, if you look at stuff on Instagram or TikTok or whatever and DJs and like, and it's visually appealing, you want to look at it and be like, why is this, like, why do I like this? And it's usually because the DJ's having a good time. If the DJ's enjoying what they're doing, then you're more likely to be like, oh man, this is fire. Instead of like, they'd be doing the craziest mashup and they're just sitting there like stale face. You'd be like, damn, are you bored? Are you asleep?
Right.
Kind of the same as like, you ever watch like cooking reels or TikToks and like they'll show you the food and they'll bite it and then they'll be like, oh my God, it's so crazy. And then they'll
Oh
cook it
yeah.
like that makes you think like, damn, I want that too. Because they're obviously
Hmm.
enjoying it. The food could be trash, but it's the fact that they're visually enjoying it, and that kind of that helps with DJing. If you're enjoying it, the
Hmm.
crowd will enjoy it a little bit more as well. Um,
That's some advice that DJ Leak gave me, or like he like seen one of my like posts like on Instagram, like just like a little like mashup I did. He's like, you need to be more like expressive, like or just dance more, like don't be all like right here. I was like, you're right. I need to work on that.
yeah, shout out to
I'm
Leak.
so.
Leak's another great guy, great DJ, and
Hmm.
he definitely has a good pulse on what works social media wise. So whatever he tells you,
Hmm.
listen to it.
No, for
Um,
sure.
I guess it's kind of hard to get a gauge on how you feel about things because I feel like these events you've been in have been sort of controlled. Even the battle is like it was, you were there for a specific task and it was only 7 minutes. Let's talk about this Sunday. This
Ooh.
Sunday, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is that the 5th or the 6th? That
Let me see.
is, that's the 7th. No, no,
The
5th, 5th. No,
fifth, yeah.
5th. So
Yep.
this Sunday, October 5th, you will be DJing at DraftKings,
Yes.
opening up for Sequel.
Yay.
So how do you feel about that?
Um, Definitely nervous because it's like my first like gig. But I mean I did do the open decks at Saturn's that one day, which I was super nervous because it wasn't, first of all, it wasn't my board. So it's like something I had to like learn real quick, like on the fly. And but yeah, um I don't know, definitely nervous. I'm like, I don't know if I should have a curated playlist or just kind of freestyle. I don't even know how long I'm going on for, but
I
hey,
think
what do you think?
if you're asking me, well, remind me to ask you how the open decks went. But if you're asking me, you're probably gonna go on for an hour, minimum 30 minutes. And so what I
Mhm.
would do is like, oh, just so you know, we're all gonna be there. Every DJ I know that's part of this community, we're gonna be there to to cheer for you and root you on. So no pressure. But this is opportunity for, and I'm telling people like, hey, pull up. I'm gonna be at DraftKings, so you should be there. And so not necessarily other DJs, but people that are also looking for new DJs just to have different things to do. So
Mhm.
what I say all that to say, this is the perfect time for you to let everybody know what your sound is. So you've been into DraftKings. You were there on at six. Like, it's not really like they're not in there trying to dance.
Yeah.
They're really in there just trying to enjoy the vibe, which is good. Like, there's no pressure on you to make people dance. So, and Sequel has the green light to play whatever he wants. And so
Hmm.
that's why he's up there being real creative with the stuff he does. So you should take that and take it as an opportunity to be like, if this is the first time somebody's hearing me, what do I want them to hear? Like,
Okay.
what do I want them to know about me and my music taste? Like, if you played what you played at the battle and just made it a longer set, like, I think that'd be great because you definitely hit all the boxes. But yeah, just I would get ready for about an hour of music, maybe like 50, 60 songs.
Hmm.
And because you never know, like you open up and Sequel get back on and he's like, oh, you want to jump back on? You
Hmm.
get ready for the next. So
Yep.
um yeah, and did you ever send Alec a mix?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Like I said, he's real big on he enjoys music. He enjoys music that we enjoy, like very not commercial hits. It's like, just he enjoys good DJing. That's why he likes Sequel. So I
Hmm.
think he's going to enjoy what you like. And also, please send me what you sent him because I want to hear more of your mixes as well.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, if you are listening to this and you're in Columbus, come to DraftKings on Sunday. That is October the 5th at 6 p.m. You should actually come and stay there all day and watch all the football games, put some parlays together, eat some food. The wings are great. They have Old Bay fries; those are good as well. But yeah, we're gonna be there at 6 p.m. to cheer you on, and I'm excited. I'm excited to, because I've seen this so many times. I've seen, the first gig, and then it turns into, oh, now you got to turn down gigs, or you gotta, you gotta pass them off to somebody else because you're so booked and busy. And um, women DJs have advantages and disadvantages, I feel like. And this is something you'll probably learn. I wish Don't Fred Aricio was here to be able to talk to you about this as well, because they're women. They can explain it to you. The advantage is, with all due respect, you're more visually appealing than a man. So already people are going to be like, oh, okay, let me see what you got. And then and if you're a good DJ on top of that, it's like, oh my God, you're actually a good DJ and not just somebody who is attractive that just stand there pressing buttons. But the disadvantage of that is that we know how men are, and men try to take advantage of women in business and in everything. So, but I say all that to say, what you do on Sunday should be the start of wherever you want to take DJing, as long as you stick to your sound and you practice and you just keep being passionate about it, and then, I feel like you can go wherever you want with DJing. But tell me about the open deck situation. There was open decks the Sunday after the battle, and I was hosted by Sonic Blush, and a bunch of the DJs was there. How was your experience? What did you play? And let's just talk about it.
So a lot was just like I was just freestyling off of my playlist. Yeah, so it was just a completely new board. Was not super familiar with it. They showed me everything, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just try it out, see how it goes. Um, but yeah, honestly, like in my own head, I feel okay. I feel like I'm a perfectionist. So I feel like I'm trying to, make sure everything's perfect. And like if the transition's not perfect, then I get like frustrated. But apparently that I was like trying to get feedback. I was like, how was it? Like, was it bad? Like, they're like, girl, no, you had the crowd moving. I was like, oh shoot. Like, I don't know. I like in my head, I'm like, okay, I messed up that transition. Like, but I don't know. You just have to recover, not make it so obvious too. But I don't know. I thought it went well, first time like actually well not first time, but just I guess like first time at a bar and just like freestyling. First time freestyling. So
To your point about being a perfectionist, if I look at, this is a bad habit. Don't do this. If I look out and more than half the crowd's not dancing, I feel like I'm doing a bad job. Especially in Columbus, like I got to get over that because, as you know, people don't dance here. I was in Cincinnati on Saturday and I was DJing and like maybe 20% of the crowd was moving, the rest of people were standing around, and everybody's like, "Oh, you killed it!" I'm like, I can't tell because
I swear.
I want everybody to dance.
Right. Um. Oh. Um. Wait. Do you remember the dude that was dancing at the competition, Stefan? Okay, so he's an actual dancer. He went to the like our second event at Good Life. And like people were like, just kind of like moving a little bit, but not really. Like they're just standing there, sitting there. And he was like, yo, you killed it. I was like, did I? Because nobody was dancing. Like I was scanning the crowd. I was like, like, is this ass? Like he's like, no, you killed it. I'm like, okay, well, maybe dance. Like, I don't know.
The word of advice I would give for that is, there's an old saying that says, if you live off somebody's compliments, you'll die off their criticism. So I take everything with a grain of salt. People will say, oh, you killed it just because you played the one song they wanted to hear. And on the same end, they'll say, oh, that DJ was trash because you didn't play the song they wanted to hear. What I will say is, Cam told me you did an amazing job, and in the beginning, that's probably what's going to matter the most is that if other DJs ain't going to lie to you either. They might not come out and be like, "Oh, you trash," but they won't go out of their way to tell somebody you did a good job if you didn't, because that doesn't help anybody. At least anybody I know, they're not going to be like, "Oh, she did a great job" if you didn't. So with that being said, and usually, well, I know this for Celine and a lot of other DJs. If you just ask like, hey, how did I do? They'll tell you what you need to improve on and give you actual feedback on how you did. So that's probably the best way to gauge that early on. But then after a while, you'll be able to tell like, oh, these people they're just not going to party. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the people that actually came here to have a good time, and I'm going to keep playing for them. And as long as they're dancing, I feel like I did a good job. Also, when you go in these venues, the people that work there, the staff, they've heard 1,000 DJs. So they'll be honest with you too, like, or they'll say, oh, you did a great job. And they ain't got to lie to you either because you don't have to be there. So another thing I want to say is that being a perfectionist is probably my biggest flaw, is that I'm always like, I could do something better. And that might be the Korean part. It's always like,
It might be.
Like, oh, this wasn't good enough. This wasn't good enough. But like, once again, it has to be a balance. So take the compliments with the criticism and just say, and then put that together with your own thoughts and say, obviously I did a good job because people enjoyed it. The feedback I got on what I can improve, I agree with or I don't, or I got feedback that maybe I didn't notice that. So maybe I'll work on that in the future. And yeah, don't let that break your confidence or build you up, because, it's important to stay balanced, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that is all the questions I have. I'm gonna put you on the spot. You have to, before we stop, you have to ask me a DJ related question. Mainly because I know you got a lot of questions, and the question you have might help somebody else that's listening. So if you could ask a 18 plus year veteran DJ that's been DJing all over the state and the country and in Korea, what would you ask?
This one question popped up in my head. So like when you do like curate like an hour playlist, like where do you start? Or like, because you obviously want to like be creative and like play the music you like, but like you also want to play for the crowd as well. Like, how do you like, what song do you know like to start with? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to use Hips for an example. The April Hips, I started with the song, the Brandy song Full Moon. So it's like 100 BPM like little dance song, and I did a mashup with that and K Tronada Dysfunctional. And so I started with that because I know the crowd likes R&B. I know the crowd likes K Tronada, and these two songs have never been together. I've never heard them together. So I want to come out the gate swinging. I want to come out the gate on fire. So I can tell you this now because I'm probably not going to do this and I'm going to change it. But I made a Pink Pony Club K Tronada mashup, and I was going to start my hip set with that, but I think I'm going to change it to something else. But it's really just about like out the gate, like you want to come out on fire. When I was in Cincinnati this weekend, I got on at 12 and they made me like make a little announcement about not smoking or whatever. So I was like, yeah, zero tolerance policy on smoking, but nah, that's the way. I'm DJ BERN. I'm from Columbus. I'm here to motherfucking turn up, and I went right in a waka flocka clap because I'm like we coming out the gate on fire. So
you have to.
Yeah, I just feel like make the first song memorable, like whether that's something they know or something they don't, but just make it memorable, impactful, and then from there you can kind of go wherever you want to go. Yeah, that's I guess how I would summarize that is just be intentional about the things you do, because it's not like if you just look at it like, oh, I'm just playing music, then that's all it's going to be, and it's not going to be intentional or memorable. But if you're like, I'm here to whip some ass, or I'm here to make sure that they know who I am. And that's also what I was thinking, like, about the battle is like, I feel like it would have went a lot different for a lot of people if they were like a little less timid and came in like on fire, like, like first song is crazy, like, and I feel like some people did do that, but for the most part, it didn't feel like it was a battle. It feels like people just put together a good 7 minutes of good vibes. And it's like, I mean, that's cool, but we're battling. It got to be like,
right.
It got to be serious. So
That's what I was thinking because we only have 7 minutes. I'm like, I gotta be like 0 to 100 like as soon as I get on. Like, can't
exactly.
waste no
So
time.
I'm trying to think of other like crazy ways I've started with something. Oh, I did a I did a mashup of Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar, and it was on the first person shooter beat, and I played it for Sequel, and he was like, and so like it's stuff like that is like last thing Sequel. I forgot where I was. He played Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? And right when the chorus was about to drop, he mixed in Bryson Tiller, Whatever She Wants. And it's like stuff like that
Mm.
is like, because you're expecting the beat to drop and he switched the beat and it's like, oh, that's crazy. That kind of stuff is what makes things memorable. And that's also like the stuff you see on social media. Like that little clip is what is memorable. And you just got, if you start out like that and you just got to keep it going. But people are always going to remember if it's impactful and intentional. So just
Hmm.
try to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like a lot of the feedback that I've gotten, like they're like, you are not predictable. Like we do not know where you're gonna play next. So I feel like that's when you get like the most reaction. I feel like when you're not, yeah, predictable. So
Yeah, definitely keep that
yeah.
going. So let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
My Instagram is at Mad.White. SoundCloud, I think it's just Maddie White. But yeah, those are my main socials.
Cool. We're going to get you to change that SoundCloud to be consistent with the Instagram because that's important for business. If you got different
True.
names across, people can't find you. But once again, that's
Okay.
MAD dot excuse me, I can't spell. MAD.WHITE, Mad.White on Instagram and Maddie White on SoundCloud. I appreciate
Hmm.
you taking this time to talk to me. I'm excited to see where you go from here. Once again, Sunday, October 5th, 6 p.m., we at DraftKings. And for the first and not the last event that you do, and I can't wait to hear more. But thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All
Thank you
right.
for everything.
And once again, that is put it on record. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment, make sure you follow her. And if you're listening, give us a good review and share this with somebody else that either likes DJing or is a DJ or wants to DJ, because I'm sure there's stuff they can learn from this. And we are out of here. And I want to press stop.